Hey, this is Scott Spears, and I'd like to welcome you to a holiday edition of the Exchange Club with Kerrington Nelson and Matt Morgan, who of course join me every week on this program. And boy, do we have a guest this week, a big name in the holiday spirit, and we could not be happier to have him with us. Big Nut himself, super fan, but more importantly, super humanitarian for all the great things he does. He's been on the Christmas program with us. He's been on an episode of Scott Spears now, and he's sticking around to do the first half of this episode with the kids, Matt and Kerrington, and we couldn't be happier that he is with us. Big Nut, thank you so much in the holiday time for being with us here on The Exchange.
Well, ho, ho, ho! It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having us. And you know what? I love this. This has been a great evening.
I'm so glad you came up here, and we've got our lucky Buckeyes here. We've got our Buckeye Big Nut necklaces here, and we're all in the holiday spirit, and the Buckeyes are something. Matt, who is not even a huge fan of the Buckeyes, is in the Buckeye feeling tonight, aren't you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You have to be.
How could you not be?
Now, Matt, you are a sports fan.
I am.
Do you have a question for Big Nut?
How does one earn the title of a super fan?
You just walk the walk, I guess. I guess put a little face paint on, I guess. Just act a little crazy, but no, I look at it as it's a way for us to create awareness and to inspire people to pay forward and help kids out for college. And that's what we do to raise money for kids for attend the Ohio State University. But no, it's just you got to be a cheerleader. You got to be loud and proud. You can't go to a game and just sit on your hands and just be nice and quiet. You got to be loud and get it to flow to the players on the field.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. You gotta be the best cheerleader.
Head cheerleader.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm trying to inspire other people to be cheerleaders as well. I mean, we went 100,000 cheerleaders in there at one time because it gets pretty loud and it's amazing.
Yeah, I got to go to a game this season. The energy was definitely high. It was the Youngstown State game though, so that's a little different, but it was still a really good time. I have a question too.
Go right ahead.
Is there an origin story for the Big Nut name?
An origin story. First lady called me a big nut one time when I threw a styrofoam brick at the TV because I was mad, and she said, "Quit acting like a big nut." And of course, I'm not as big as I used to be, but I'm still size-wise, I'm a big guy, and I'm just a big nut about Ohio State. So.
I love it. That's awesome.
And this is an important thing, and I think bringing this up again on this current event show is very important here at the holiday time. Big Nut, people who've seen you've went through a 100-pound weight loss over the last 4 or 5 years. What a tremendous thing. And I think hearing that story is certainly worth telling again, because I think certainly these guys would love to hear that. And also at the holiday time, people can overeat this time of year.
Absolutely, Scott. It's important to eat in moderation for one. Portion control is a big thing. Also, consume more protein and cut back on your carbs and sugars. It definitely will make a difference. But you can't do it for a day or two. It's got to be, you got to commit to it for a lengthy period of time. And so far, so good. I'm sticking to it, and it's been 4.5 years, but it's got to be a lifetime change.
Was that all natural? Like, did you have any medications or? Sorry, that's a little personal, but
no, I'm diabetic, so
okay.
My doctor informed me that I needed to do something soon because. My A1C was just way out of control. It was way over 7, and now it's 5.4. And so yeah, it's been a good ordeal so far.
It's awesome.
Now, Kerrington works in a pharmacy as well.
Yes.
So you see a lot of people going through issues.
Definitely. I was asking him that. We just fill a lot of prescriptions for Ozempic is a popular one that people use, celebrities will use for weight loss, but it's also used for diabetic purposes. So that's why I was a little curious if you've gotten to use any of those types of things, or if it's been just you changing your lifestyle and.
Right. I'm not on insulin, but I do take Ozempic.
Okay.
Because it wasn't for weight loss; it was for my diabetes.
Yeah, the weight loss is just a positive side effect of that too.
Right.
I know a lot of people have talked about that.
But it has, I would never eat bananas, and now all I do is eat bananas. I like peanut butter. I love peanut butter, and. So, I just high in protein. Protein 2.0 was a big thing for me, flavored water. That's been a huge thing for me because I have a hard time. I love drinking water when I'm not eating, but when I'm eating something, I have to have something flavored. And so, therefore, I drink the old soda pops, and that just wasn't good. And so now I drink Protein 2.0, and it hits a spot.
Now, Matt, we do want to do something here early on in the exchange. Tell people we've got a couple big events coming up in the area. Christmas in Caledonia, Christmas in the Village coming up, and also the big fruitcake toss here at the station, which now has over 45 people in it. It's going to be fantastic. Let people know the details of these events.
So, on December 9th at 6:15 p.m., I do believe, in the Village of Caledonia in the center, there's going to be a tree lighting ceremony. There, Scott will be there, reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Kerrington and I will be there singing. Santa Claus is going to be there with Mrs. Claus. It's bound to be a solid night. You won't want to miss it.
Now, in Kerrington, you will be dressed as...
I'll be dressed as Fruity C, the elf.
The elf, the official WGH elf. And Matt, on that particular night, you'll have a whole different outlook on life, right?
Yep, and on that particular night, I am going to be Vixen.
A reindeer.
A reindeer.
Right over there in Caledonia. It's going to be
Absolutely.
something to see. 6:15 tree lighting in Caledonia on December the 9th. Now, the fruitcake toss. Tell them about the fruitcake toss.
So the fruitcake toss takes place on the 14th of December at 7 o'clock here at 685 Delaware Avenue. It's pretty simple, I guess. You walk up to the line, you get one underhand toss. On that night...
Of a real Claxton fruitcake.
A pound brick of fruitcake.
Absolutely.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
And the record is 72 feet. Somebody has underhand tossed
Really?
it. I couldn't believe it. It's a record that stands. Last year's winner tossed at 61 feet. I saw last year's winner today, and he'll be back in it this year.
So how do they clean it up? They like scoop shovels and they scoop it off the ground?
No, it doesn't break. We've
Really?
never had one break.
Really?
That just goes to tell you how strong those fruitcakes are.
But they're still edible after you throw them, right?
Well, I don't know. I've never tasted one.
I would like to try one.
You go for it. Why not? Why not? But right now there are over 40 people in this. I believe 46 people. We have got former mayors. We have got county commissioners. We have got a former treasurer of the United States in this. It's going to be not city councilmen, auditors, plus just anybody who wanted to be in it is in this event. It's going to be so much fun. 7 p.m. December 14th. And that night we're also going to have something Big Nut would love this.
On that night, we're going to have chestnuts, but they're only called chestnuts because you got to make it, Christmassy. So, but they are Buckeyes that my mom makes.
Oh, nice.
His mom makes these great Buckeyes, and they're going to be available that night for free as our gift to the people who come to the fruitcake toss.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. You didn't bring any today by chance, did you?
I did not know.
Yeah. If that doesn't say holiday, I don't know what does. And we're going to have singing that night and the whole bit. There's going to be, and former Mayor Jack Kellogg, the longest serving mayor in Marion history, will be getting an Upper Crust Society award. There's a lot going on that night.
Absolutely. Scott, you know what? That sounds to me like it's joy to the world.
Joy to the world. And I should mention that the winner of the fruitcake toss will get a plaque courtesy of Bob Welsh in Columbus, Ohio, and 4 passes to the Columbus Zoo Lights. So, there you go. Come on out December 14th at 7 p.m. You're excited. Now, Kerrington, you're in the fruitcake toss.
Yes.
Now, you are representing women in this year's fruitcake toss because there's been a lot of talk about should there be a women's division, and we say we're gonna put everybody together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the girls can hold their own.
I think they can
Yeah, I think we just have we've had low numbers in the past, so I think that's what's against us, not the fact that we're women. We can do it.
No, there are higher numbers this year. I think we've had more women enter this year than ever before. I believe it's up over 15 at this, maybe 17.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's great. Now, Matt, what do you think? Do you have an odds-on favorite this year?
I think I'm gonna have to go with Ed. I mean, he threw
Ed, last year's winner.
I mean, you gotta. Hopefully, he's just consistent.
It's going to be a big night. Now, we had a topic on this show recently. Is there ever an age you should retire? When you aren't throwing your fastball anymore and you know it, should you leave? And the reason this topic came up was because we were talking about 2 legendary comics, Bob Hope and Jack Benny. And Johnny Carson wrote a book. Johnny Carson, of course, the legendary host of The Tonight Show for 30 years. And he wrote a book and he said he loved Bob Hope and he loved Jack Benny, but he just felt they stayed too long at the fair. Bob Hope into his 90s, Jack Benny into his late 70s. So Johnny Carson told his producer, he said, listen, if I ever lose my fastball, promise to tell me that I've lost it. And when I leave, remind me never to come back. And Johnny Carson did not come back when he left. He did not do guest spots. He did not do another show. And that led to kind of the mystique of Johnny Carson even more, because for the last 14 years of his life, he never did anything. He never came back. What do you make of that, Big Nut, the topic? If you lose your fastball and you think you're losing it, should you step away?
Well, I haven't lost my fastball yet. You know what? I'm coming back.
You're coming back. You'll be there forever.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
But
in spirit.
Do you think that people should, like Kenny Rod, know when to fold them, know when to hold them?
You know what? Know your limitations. You got to know your limitations, and yeah, I mean, it depends on how you want to be viewed as you know, once you get past your prime and into that downward spiral, I guess you're taking that risk of how you're going to be reviewed or remembered as. I guess that's your call to make, but. Yeah.
Now, the Christmas tin on this, because I have said in the past, I do think there is a time, and I think you know it, when you probably shouldn't do something anymore because you're not as good as you once were. Now, Matt disagreed. Matt, you said that as long as somebody, if there's a market for it, do it.
I think that so long as you enjoy doing whatever it is that you are doing, and there's a market for what you're doing, I would do it. I don't see a reason to not.
Well, because I don't know that money should be the driver. Kerrington, your feeling on this was what?
Well, I mean, like he said, if you're still enjoying it, that doesn't mean money's your sole driver. But, you know, if you can do something you enjoy and still get paid for it, I don't see the harm in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like Joe Louis, when he got knocked through the ropes as a boxer that last time, we wish he hadn't, you know, we wish he would have just stopped one fight earlier. You know what I'm saying, Big Nut?
Absolutely. I know exactly what you're saying,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
So.
Just did some, but now here's the point though. Not say, because some people can go on forever. I'm not saying this is an exact age science or anything, but Brenda Lee, I love this story. Brenda Lee, who's been on this station with me, I love Brenda Lee, singer. I don't think she wrote it, but she did sing it, performed it. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree has been out 65 years this year. Brenda Lee will turn 79 on December 11th. This year, for the first time ever, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree is #1 on the Billboard 100. Never has happened in the entire history of the song. The woman now is 79 years old, and she's #1. She's never been #1. Didn't happen until she was 79. Thank goodness she hung around singing that song.
It just goes to show you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
And clearly Brenda Lee's still got her fastball.
She does. She does.
Is there a reason why? Like, did something happen with the song, or it was just really popular?
No, it's always main. Have you ever heard the song?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, are you sure?
Absolutely.
I thought maybe you didn't celebrate
No,
Christmas
I got
or
it
something.
rocking around the
because
Christmas
you know
tree.
it.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
Well, no, yeah, it's been high on the list. It's got as high as #2, but it never achieved the #1 spot. And this year, because of the 65th anniversary, she recorded a new music video.
Oh, okay.
And it hit #1.
Hey, never put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? You say if you're losing a fastball, create a curveball.
And she did. She came back and I go to YouTube. It's on YouTube. That's where you can see it. Search Brenda Lee, 2023, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and you'll see the video. And she got, because essentially she's a country singer, she got other famous country performers to appear in this music video, which is great. You know,
it is great.
So it's not an age. Don't think that when I'm saying you should leave when you're maybe not as good as you were is an age thing, because some people, they can go on 90, 95, but still doing as good as they always did.
Kind of like George Burns, right?
George Burns, and there's somebody who shouldn't have retired.
Right, there you go.
Because he was working right up till he was almost 100, which was great. So in the final analysis here, Kerrington, stick around.
I'd say stick around. I mean, this is like a different example though, because she took a break from the spotlight for a little bit.
We're having terrible times keeping stuff on this
we're dropping
table.
a lot.
I know.
But she re-recorded the video and it came back around. So
it did
you
come
can
back
take a
around.
break and go back.
It only took 65 years, but she's #1 now.
Yes.
Only a 65-year wait. That's all it takes, Matt. 65 years to become #1.
Absolutely.
Better late than never, right? But Big Nut.
That's right. Better late than never.
My goodness. Now, this is an interesting story I saw today. Adult Happy Meals. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
Oh, yes. McDonald's is releasing adult Happy Meals. I think this starts in mid-December. And it's because of a gentleman. He's a performer. He's a musician. And he, apparently, it's a feeling from his childhood. So these adult Happy Meals are going to have toys in them from the 1980s.
Nice.
Like the little McNuggets.
Absolutely.
Now, is this, do you think this will be a big seller?
It could be. It could be something big. Maybe it will. I mean, you just don't know until you try. You got to try.
That's right.
If you don't try it, then you'll never know.
You don't know, and I think you do have to try it. But do you think the adults will want the toys? I think they will.
I think so too. If they collected it before, they'll collect them again.
And this guy obviously loves it. I wish I could remember his name, but he's a big. I think he's a rapper.
Yeah, I bet it's a nostalgia thing. I mean, I know McDonald's has done partnerships with other things before. They had their Grimace shake that recently came for a few.
Was it purple?
Yes, the purple Grimace shake. I'm familiar with that. But I mean, they always do like little things. So maybe it'll just be here for a few weeks or months, and it'll have its time in the spotlight, and they'll be like, okay, that's enough. And I can't see them losing money on it. So.
What do you think of an adult Happy Meal, Matt?
About the same as Kerrington, honestly. I don't see them losing. Like, I don't see a way that they lose money on it, and I see that collectors for the old toys might probably come back out to, I don't know, like finish their collection or something of the sort, even though it's not going to be, authentic anymore. But
do you think they will make money on it? Not going to lose any money, but do you think they'll make money? Do you think this will be something they'll have to do every year, or maybe keep on going past Christmas with it?
I mean, I think so. I mean, like, kind of like how the McRib, like last time the McRib came back, it was called the Retirement Tour, and now all of a sudden McRib returns.
You never retire.
No,
you say you're going to, but it doesn't happen.
This relates to the music video. The McRib took its short break. It came back better than ever, just like rocking around the
Hey,
Christmas
one door
tree.
closes, another door opens.
Yes.
Even for the
yes.
McRib, not just for singers, even for the McRib. When the door closed on the McRib, it came on right back. I think that's great. Do you enjoy the McRib?
I know. I don't think I've ever really eaten the McRib.
I don't think I have either, but it looks good in the pictures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, that's what I thought too. I thought it looked good in the pictures, so I decided I'd try one.
You did try one.
They're not very good.
Oh.
I mean, they might be good if you like that. Like
Somebody
like
might like it.
sandwiches, but,
Somebody
like,
might like it.
They're like
Sure, somebody
they're okay.
It reminded me of cafeteria food. Like
Yeah,
I think
like
we had
it-
McRibs in the high school cafeteria.
It genuinely tasted like one of the rib sandwiches they gave us at school. Yeah.
Well, but you put Mick in front of it. That's all you have to do.
It's sold.
Fair
It's
enough.
sold.
It's sold. It's sold.
Sold it.
Because I think, again, Big Nut, it goes to nostalgia.
True.
People love nostalgia.
Absolutely.
Especially this time of year.
Tradition.
Tradition. And that's what the holidays are all about. Tradition. Kerrington, do you have any big traditions at the holiday time?
Yeah, I mean, on Christmas Eve, we always go over and hang out with my aunt and uncle at their house, and we do a little white elephant gift exchange where we get some interesting gifts. There's been a fish. There was a ramen noodle sweatshirt that went around for a little bit. A lot of prank gifts. And then Christmas Day, we have Christmas at my house in the morning with my immediate family, and then we hang out with my grandparents later in the day. So
Sounds like a good time. Family.
yes.
Matt, what do you think?
Around usually we try to do it on Christmas Eve, but people got to work sometimes, so we do a gift exchange on usually, like I said, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas we go to my grandma's house for like Christmas dinner.
Nothing better than being at Grandma's for Christmas dinner.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Big Nut this year for you?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's certain dishes like the of course, water chestnut and bacon, wrapped in bacon, and
Oh.
those are so good.
yeah, they're really good. And just the gifts exchange and get the cards out. Let's go, guys. The grandkids and oh yeah, it'll be fun.
Now, this is interesting. I bring this up because there was a recent poll that 73% of people want to start new holiday traditions. They don't want to do what they've always done. 73%, a very high number, want to do new things. Now, Matt, even though you love your things, do you want to work new stuff in there? Have you had it with the old stuff? You've done it, you've been there.
I think that if you stop doing traditions to add new tradition, I think if you get tired of tradition, I don't think it was a tradition.
Well, I think you can have a tradition that you do several times, and then maybe you say, well, I'd like to do something different.
I guess personally, I just don't like the idea of backseating a tradition to throw in another thing.
But do you do something just because of tradition? Like, I know a lot of people will say, we'll go on a big vacation on Christmas, but you wouldn't be able to have your normal traditions of going to Grandma's and so on and so forth if you were not at home.
I think I'd rather, I guess I don't know, but I think I'd rather be at my grandma's on Christmas.
So you're a tradition guy.
Why would I want to be, I don't know, Hawaii? Why do I, say Hawaii? Why would I want to be in Hawaii on Christmas when everybody I know is in Ohio on Christmas?
Having fun, and you're not there to
Yeah,
enjoy
exactly.
it.
I'm not there with everybody I know doing what we do every year, and instead I'm in Hawaii doing whatever I'm doing in Hawaii.
Well, hopefully some of your family would have went with you on this trip to Hawaii at Christmas, like Home Alone.
It'd probably just be me, my dad, my brother, my sister. And me.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but it
You
could be...
want the other family.
But it could be all of us, and then all of the other family too. You know what I'm saying? It could be the whole group.
Big Nut, 73%. Is that shocking to you if people want to start new traditions, new holiday traditions?
Oh, that is kind of a
Big
shocking
number.
That is a big number. Absolutely. Let me ask you this: do you want to see a white Christmas?
You know, I do like a white Christmas. As a matter of fact, when we're taping this afternoon, we had some flurries. And there was some Christmas music on, and the flurries were happening. And I thought, you know, this is nice. Now, I don't know if I would think that was nice in February or March, but in December, it's nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think, Kerrington? Traditions? Do you want new traditions, or do you want to stick with the ones you got now?
I'm pro new traditions, I think. I kind of have a small family, so that's not a lot of people that I'd be missing. In Matt's example, he said, you know, he would be missing a lot of people, but I really just have my immediate family and my grandparents. So I would start new traditions. I'd be interested in that, definitely.
So what would you like to do? Like if you got an offer to do what?
Well, Big Nut mentioned cards, and my family doesn't ever really play games, and like I'm a big games girl, so if I could find some people that would come over and play games, I think I'm gonna have a little get together with my friends, I think, around Christmas time to play some games. So I'm trying to start some new traditions.
Oh, and Matt and I have been invited.
Yes, absolutely.
No, we haven't, but that's okay. You know,
You guys can come.
well, no, it's
It's on December 23rd. You have to bring a gift card.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, we play this like saran wrap ball game where we'll have to like put on these oven mitts and you like roll the dice and then you have to try to take off the saran wrap, and whatever you get, whenever you have the dice, then or while you have the ball, then you get to keep that stuff.
What do you think of this new tradition, Matt? Doesn't that sound like fun?
My mom tried to start something like that. I do believe either it was last year on Christmas or Thanksgiving last year. But, I mean, you know, I think that works if you're, for smaller children, personally. I was not a fan.
You don't like gift cards and candy?
See,
man.
but we didn't do gift cards and candy. It was just like, I don't know, board games or something like that. Like, I love board games, but like, they were like, just like, you know.
Yeah, no. See, everybody brings a gift card, and then you're winning gift cards. Like, I mean, I like gift cards and food, so it's up my alley.
What's that board you
enough.
like? What was that thing you like with the cheese?
A charcuterie board.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Big Nut, do you know about the charcuterie thing?
I have heard it.
I mean, I've heard but
Yes.
boy, it's a thing apparently. I didn't realize.
Evidently.
New traditions.
New traditions.
73%
Well,
of
my
people.
grandkids taught us a new tradition, a new game.
What's that?
It's called Spoons.
Yes,
Yes,
I love that
It might
game.
not be new to some people, but it was new to me and First Lady Nut. And you know what? They were using these plastic spoons, and now we had to upgrade to metal spoons because the plastic was kept breaking.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
It got a little crazy.
We were getting like violent at our house.
Oh, yeah.
I drugged someone over a
Yeah,
table
it
in
gets
that game one
aggressive.
time.
It gets aggressive.
Anything to win.
You drug somebody over a table.
Yeah, we
violent
both
is that?
had the spoon, and I was like, you know what's going to get them to let go? If I get under this table, they're either falling or letting go.
See, you claim you're not a powerhouse, but I think you're coming into that fruitcake toss kind of underwhelming. You're underwhelming us all, and you're going to come in and throw that
Oh, yeah.
fruitcake a
Oh,
long
yeah.
way.
We'll see.
I
She's
think
kind
that's
of bird dogging, right?
I think that's what
yeah.
it is. I think that
she's
We'll
kind of like
see.
a ringer.
misleading us
Oh, yeah.
all that night.
She's
It's
gonna win
be-
it all.
It's going to be a whole thing. She wants those zoo passes and the big plaque that she can hang on her wall. Big Nut, you've got this great outfit on for the holidays. Tell us, you
Yes.
got the jingle bell wreath around your neck and the great Santa hat.
Well, you know, for this time of year, between now and the first of the year, we go to Buckeye basketball games, and this is some of the dress attire. I got my Santa cap and my little Christmassy jingle
I like
jingle.
that.
And yeah, it's just something different to break up the normal, the routine. This is a different routine.
So Big Nut goes beyond football games.
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome.
We
I
love
didn't know
all
that.
kinds of sport. We love basketball and baseball as well.
Do you have a favorite sport you like attending?
Oh boy, that's tough. I need closure. Okay, so when I start one, I got to get to the end of it, and then I start the next one.
Okay, so just whenever
it's nonstop, continuous.
Okay.
But we love high school sports and obviously the Ohio State University sports.
And do you dress like this for high school sports? Or?
I have our 100th anniversary game, Fremont Ross versus Sandusky Blue Streaks. I have my chest painted purple and white.
That's good.
The color we spelled out Ross, R-O-S-S for 4 guys.
And I bet they love that.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like,
we got a few laughs and smiles.
it's like a celebrity there at their games.
I don't know about that, but
You know, that's kind of interesting because these two need a little advice because they are singing in front of groups and they're a little nervous about this. We lit the Christmas tree here in Marion a few weeks ago and they sang in front of that group, but they were a little nervous because they're not professional singers. Certainly I'm not, but I don't have to sing at these events. I just read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I show up and do that, and they sing.
and you do a great job, I'm sure.
Well, I try.
You have that narrator voice.
Oh, well, thank you.
And that fluid. sound.
I try, but I feel bad for them because because they're nervous, not because they're good.
Right.
I think they're fine. They're fine, but they get up to the
Yeah,
routine.
we did just fine, everybody. It was a fine performance if you were
I think
there.
Scott's overblowing how nervous.
No,
he
I
is.
saw them before. Their knees were knocking so hard I thought that Santa Claus was coming.
Hey, my knees were shaking, but I sang just fine.
Just stay focused, knowing that you got to get up to work the next day.
Yes,
Yeah.
advice. So there's some good advice for you.
Yeah, just stay focused.
People used to carol all the time. You remember this, Big Nut? People would
Oh,
go door
yeah.
to door.
It was huge.
It didn't matter how they sounded.
No,
They just went
no.
door to door belting those tunes out.
Right, and it put smiles on people's faces.
That's right.
They loved it.
Now, did you ever sing?
Well, we won't go there. I mean, I tried to sing, but
We
no.
all try.
Yeah, we tried. Not the best, not the best.
No, but you know what? I think at the Christmas time, it doesn't matter. Because those songs were really not necessarily sung by the best people. It was just fun. They're having a good.
Yeah.
Like I want a hippopotamus for Christmas and
Oh yeah,
all
yeah,
those things.
That's true. Like if I say "Lend me your ear" and I'll sing you a tune. I
Yes.
mean, it's just
That's all there is.
don't walk out on me, all right?
I won't. Stage fright is an interesting thing, though. Some people have it, some people don't. I think it's good to have a certain percentage of it because I think it lifts you up
Right.
for the group.
Right. They're not nervous. It's just butterflies.
Butterflies.
It's like playing football. That first hit, all of a sudden you're fine.
Yeah,
You
just
know?
to be in the moment then.
Yep, you're in the moment.
But there was some nerves leading in, but you're okay now. And
Yeah.
when we go over to Caledonia on the 9th, you'll be fine and it'll be great.
Yeah, I think we'll have nerves before, and then you just start and you do it, and that's just how it is.
Pure entertainment.
Yes.
Pure entertainment. Now, what is your favorite type of Christmas tree? Because we are in that season. Do you like a real one? Do you like a fake one?
I thought we were talking about types, so I was like, oh, I really like a balsamic fir. Like, I don't know. We always get a real tree at my house, so I like it. It's a little messy, obviously, cleaning it up, but I like it. It's festive. Sorry, I thought that's what you were asking.
I was going simple. Real fake. Real fake.
Yeah, no, we went to a Christmas tree lot this year actually and cut down a real tree, so that we had to pick a variety of what kind of tree we wanted. And my mom really wanted a long needle pine this year, but we did not go with that. So
Now, who dragged it back to the car?
my dad, obviously.
nice.
Yeah. No, she's like, "Come on, Rich, you got to get that. We got to go cut down this tree together." She didn't cut down the tree.
Right.
That was my brothers and my dad.
Now, is it decorated now?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And apparently you've got a whole litany of decorations on your yard, on your lawn.
Yes, people drive by our house sometimes on Christmas Eve. We'll see them going past and just looking at the lights. It's pretty festive.
Now, Matt, what about you? Real or fake tree? Artificial.
So as of the last few years, they have been going artificial. I don't think my direct family has ever gotten a real tree, but my grandparents, they used to get a real tree before they had this little, or I guess they still have the dog, but little black dog named Hermione, and she ate the pine needles and got sick, so they no longer got the real tree.
Well, that is a Christmas story for sure. Yes, absolutely. And Big Nut, you?
Well, we used to go out and cut them down by hand, the real ones. We like the real ones, but as the kids got older, me and First Lady Nut, we decided to go with the artificial. But now, I'm actually thinking about getting me a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Really?
Absolutely.
The
because
little tiny one?
Absolutely. You know why? Because it needs just as much love as any other tree.
Big Nut, we've only got you here for 2 more minutes. We're going to let you get on out of here before we do the second half of our program, and we thank you for being here for this time. But what is your Christmas message to the people out there, the holiday message?
Just be effervescent and give love. Send love out. Send the love waves to whoever and as many people as you can. Put a smile on their face. Give them a hug and tell them you love them and tell them Merry Christmas and bright days.
Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure, and hopefully it's not the last time.
You know what the Big Nut always says: "Go Bucks and God bless."
The Big Nut. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to be back with Matt and Kerrington with the second half of this program right after this. Hey, Scott Spears back with you here with Matt Morgan and Kerrington Nelson on The Exchange. And boy, oh boy, what a great guest we had in Big Nut himself, super fan from the Ohio State University. Matt, wasn't he great? Big Nut was a pleasure to have on the program. And remember to catch the Big Nut Christmas special on Scott Spears Now on YouTube. Search Big Nut, Scott Spears, and Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think Big Nut was great. I think what he's doing with as far as the scholarship fund is great. I mean, also
Barbecue sauce, pickles, popcorn.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yes.
Hold on.
He's He's got items. He's a whole marketing genius.
Man, nobody
Yes.
told me about any
Oh,
of this.
yes.
He has a brand, Big Nut Pickles.
Big Nut Pickles. Big Nut Pickles, Big Nut Barbecue Sauce, Big Nut Popcorn.
Wow, no, I
It was like QVC during one of the
Oh my
episodes we
God.
did. It was a whole thing.
I wish you would have brought some. I would have bought some from him.
Well, he did, but,
Oh,
you were late.
I was late.
So what can you do?
What can I do?
It's one of those things.
Sorry.
But Big Nut, we thank you so much for coming on the program, and we thank you for making the trip up here, and we're glad you did. Thank you so much. Now, we're going to get to a subject that's a little sticky, to be honest with you, because on the Friday night program last week, we got a little feedback. Kerrington decided that she was going to imitate me several times and point out maybe some picadillos that she thinks that I have. She came in salty last Friday, is what it's all really about. She tried to make fun of my intro, which Pastor Craig called in and scolded her about.
No, Pastor Craig
Now hold
agreed
on.
with
Hey,
me.
whoa, am I done talking?
No.
Please.
No.
We don't want any crosstalk here. Now, also, then she, during the break, made fun of the picture taking, the little publicity shot that we did. And she made fun of go get some cheese dip during the break. And then she did the whole, we're heading for the dugout. And then Matt made fun of don't leave for love nor money.
Yep.
It was like a piñata. I felt like a piñata on last Friday night show. Now, why, Kerrington, were you so salty last Friday night and came at me with that kind of vengeance in your heart during the holiday season nonetheless?
No, there was no vengeance. Just as Pastor Craig had said, if you went back and listened to the episode, you know what he's going to say. You get excited for it. It's like you're singing along with the intro to a show. That's what it is. Yes, I was. And I don't see why that's an insult. Whenever I start watching Friends.
Because you're not sincere.
No, he doesn't know my sincerity
I do know you're
level.
sincere. I can tell when you're sincere or
He
not.
doesn't
And that
know.
was not sincere.
He does not know.
That was not sincere.
It was
I'm
sincere.
telling you, I know when somebody's sincere.
No, I was like, I knew what was coming. I was ready for it.
You had a mocking tone. Go ahead, Matt. You were here.
Yeah,
Jump in.
Well, don't you know the saying, like, mockery is the sincerest form of flattery?
I don't think it's mockery.
It's all the same.
Imitation is the sincerest form
What
of
is the
flattery.
difference between mockery and imitation?
I don't think mockery is a word.
I don't know. I think mockery sounds right. I don't know.
Oh,
for
you
sure.
disagree with me. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I don't know. I think mockery is a word.
Mockery is not a word. Look it up in your dictionaries at home if you still have those things. But in any event, you didn't feel she was very sincere, did you? Be honest. You know her.
It didn't seem any more or less sincere than usual.
Right, and herein lies the problem.
I was just excited. I knew what he was going to say. I thought it was funny.
And then I was doing a top 10 list, and she's always trying to look at my notes. She's always trying to look at the computer screen across the way. And I was doing a top 10 list, and I got to number 3, and it was half out of the screen. And she read number 3 on the top 10 list without even being asked.
He was stumbling a little bit. There was a punctuation error, I believe, in the top 10 list.
Whoa, what?
there might have
Did you
been a
not hear what Big Nut
punctuation error.
said earlier?
No.
I have a flood.
You flood. You have the most flood voice.
Yes, I'm very, just like a stream of water when I speak.
Yes, but there was one small pebble in the stream, so I was helping to smooth that over. You're
so
welcome.
you just thought you'd jump right
You're
in.
welcome.
That's
Yes.
your way of doing it.
Yes.
I'm just going to jump right in.
Yeah, I was like, here, I got it. I think I said, I'll take it from here, Scott, and I read it.
No, I don't think you said I'll take it from here. I think you just read it.
Yeah, see, I'm going to have to agree with Scott on this one. I do think you just kind of started reading it.
I might have. I honestly don't
Why
remember.
would you do such a thing?
Because you were stumbling. I was helping you out.
There you go again. There was no stumbling.
Yes, if we go back and listen to the episode, there was something where you said, whoa, I gotta restart this because I think there was a lack of punctuation. And so...
There was a lack of punctuation.
Yes, so you just misread it. And I had already been
now
reading
I
your
misread
screen.
It. Excuse me.
Well, I was reading your screen and I saw how it was supposed to be read and I was like, oh, he doesn't need to sit here and think about how to decipher it. I got it.
Now, the point of this whole conversation is people think that we don't get along. That's what I hear from people.
Oh, no.
And it's funny because I wonder if it's a girl thing because nobody ever, we've not agreed on everything, but nobody ever says you and Matt don't get along. As a matter of fact, they think we get along a lot. For some reason, they think we do not get along.
Because we argue every week.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know that means anything.
No.
I think that you would not argue with somebody if you didn't feel comfortable with them.
No, definitely not. If you were uncomfortable in the situation, I'd probably just remain quiet.
Yeah, and we learned today that you're trying to take my spot. I heard that around.
That not necessarily how I was. It was not phrased that way. I'm not here to take your job.
No, but you can have the darn thing as far as I'm concerned. I can go into retirement peacefully. But somebody said that today. That they bring the young in and they cart out the...
Okay. I thought you meant like I had
No,
said
you
that.
didn't say it. You didn't say it. Somebody else said it.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. Somebody did in fact say that today.
Out with the old and with the new, you know what they say.
I don't say that.
They say it.
No, but it's a silly thought because you would not leave if you didn't want to. Who's going to kick you out the door?
No, your spot's secure.
Darn right.
Job security right here.
Always remember that. Always remember the job is secure. Oh, well, you know what? And here's the key to it, by the way. Make yourself invaluable. You have to do something that makes you invaluable, and I think it's your contacts, and I think it's what you do. You can't replace that. You can replace somebody showing up, and you can replace somebody talking, but you cannot replace somebody who has the contacts. You can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, you get every guest we have on this show, so you're definitely invaluable.
Right, and you'd miss me if I was gone.
I would. Who would I argue with?
Right, I know. It'd be a sad moment for you.
It would.
So, all of this amounts to, what?
That we get along, and this is just a bit of us arguing.
I don't know if it's a bit. I mean, I don't think
bit.
we're making it up.
No, we disagree, but...
we disagree, but it's not, I mean, everything's fine.
Yeah.
We're friends.
We're
friendly.
We're friendly.
We're friendly. I've let you give me a shot, for God's sake.
You did, and most of my friends wouldn't even let me do that.
No,
so.
I'm still having second guesses about the whole thing, but it happened.
You've been feeling okay?
What was in that thing? You told me it was salt water. You keep asking me if I'm okay.
Sodium chloride.
What is that?
Just, salt water.
Saline.
Saline.
Yeah.
So why do you keep asking me if I'm feeling okay?
I'm just checking on
Why
you.
is the salt water going to put me under? Okay.
I'm just checking.
In any event.
I'm a thoughtful person.
Thank you. You're very nice.
Thank you.
This is an interesting thing for the holidays. A lot of people go to parties where they're not seated next to their spouse or their significant other. Do you think that's a good idea?
I'm confused.
You never been to a part like an upper crust party where they don't seat you with the person you came with?
No.
Oh, I've been to those parties.
Yeah, I've never been to a party like that either.
Well, I can believe that.
I mean, usually you just kind of pick where you go, pick where you sit at the party. I mean, like I don't know.
No. You come to the party, and what happens is they take the person you're with and they put them at another table, and they put you at your own table with other people because they figure you're with your person all the time. Maybe you'd like to talk to some new people.
I mean, that seems like more of a social event than a party.
Yeah, well, it was a party.
No, see, I think there's a difference between a social event and a party.
What's the difference between a social event and a party? They all have tables and napkins and food.
You see, so like that's more like a birthday party. I thought you were talking like a party, like like
a rager, what are you talking about?
Like a New Year's party, just like
like where you're sitting around playing spoons with a big old saran wrap ball.
That's my kind of party.
Good Lord, do you get seated together at that party?
Yeah, you kind of just pick and choose. I'm typically not at parties where they seat you and make you sit in a specific place.
I'm usually not at parties where you're seated. Usually everybody's just kind of up walking around talking to each other, and there's music.
No, this is a dinner party.
I mean,
where you're having like prime rib and sides, and people are waiting on you. It's catered.
Yeah, I think you're talking to the wrong people here.
Yep,
we haven't been invited to many dinner parties.
This is the McRib group. I forgot.
Yeah.
This is the McRib crowd. They're not really going to these dinner parties. I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Fun story, by the way. Long ago, I used to have this group of friends, and we called ourselves McRib Gang.
Oh.
Because one time we watched a movie at the Southland Mall, and we were just walking around, and for some reason we decided to go back where the dumpsters were by McDonald's there, because usually it's locked, but the gate wasn't locked and it was just open. So for some reason we were just like, we're gonna wander back here where we know we're not supposed to be because it's usually locked. And there was just
I don't like where this is going.
and there was just a puddle of McRib on the ground, just like
puddle.
There was like McRib.
The McRib's a solid, I believe.
Yeah, but there was like McRib, and then like it was in a, like on the ground, and then there was like barbecue sauce all over, and then and then from that day forward we took a picture with it and deemed ourselves McRib Gang.
Happy holidays.
That's something.
You probably wouldn't go to a dinner party like that. I mean, that's not really dinner party conversation. You gotta have little anecdotes for the dinner party, and I don't know if that McRib story is going to sell at a dinner party.
I think it could. I think I can sell it.
No, I
This
don't.
year, I'm actually trying to start a new tradition. My friends and I are having a progressive dinner, so that's kind of like a dinner
What
party.
the world is that?
What is
You've never heard of a progressive dinner? Okay, so basically...
Do you have charcuterie?
Well, yes, probably. So
You play-
we'll start at one of our houses, and you have, like salads there, and you go to the next house, and you might have an appetizer there, and then you go to the next house, and then you have like the main course.
It's like
a progressive dinner. That's
It's
what
like
it's
a
called.
bro. She's talking like a whole 5-course entree. Except you gotta make separate stops to
Yeah, and you go from like house to house.
Who's making the food?
Probably our parents and us.
Yeah, but you have to leave the food to go to somebody else's house, don't you?
Okay, then probably my parents.
So, what is the point of this?
We're gonna bring in, the holiday spirit at all of our like parents' houses and stuff. So I think they'll enjoy it. Most of them sound pretty excited to have us for a couple of hours.
Well, I would get on that tour, but frankly, I don't want to.
Okay.
That doesn't sound very entertaining to me.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm excited for it.
Why would you understand this, Matt?
No, I feel like if I wanted to have a big 5-course dinner meal, I'd just do it at one house.
A dinner party.
Yeah.
You're not seated next to the person you came with. You seat separately. You don't go to different houses.
Once again, social event
Gosh
versus party. Party,
almighty.
you go to a party, and they're usually at a party. There's people you know. If you go to a social event, the goal is to meet
No,
new
there are people.
It's more
you
networking.
get invited to the social event. I know the people. I'm not seated with the person that I came with. They go seat somewhere else, and I sit somewhere else. I like that. You're eating potatoes with that person every night.
So it's more of a networking social event.
Kind of, but the people
So
who are
it's not
there.
a party.
Call
glad we
it what you
agree.
will. It's a progressive party.
It's not progressive. Progressive. It's in one place.
I don't even know what that means. Why is it called progressive? Because how do you know you're going forward? What if you go backward?
You can't in the meal. You start with
No,
one
but you
thing.
can go backward down the road.
No, yeah, we could, but
You throw the car in reverse. That's
we could,
recessive.
but we're going
Maybe
to
it's a
make
recessive party.
No, we're making it to the destination.
That sounds more like a recessive party. That sounds something like they did back in the old, fire and brimstone days.
Progressive dinner. My mom knew what I was talking about. She said that she used to go to these back in the day.
Well,
so,
God bless her.
People have been doing these for.
No,
What?
they haven't. No.
See,
Yes.
No, they haven't. No.
I don't know
See,
about
that's
that.
a lie.
A progressive
You-
dinner. It's a thing.
You have no journalistic integrity. That is not true. That's no. But by the way, the fruitcake toss. We got to touch on this because I don't know if people realize that I'm up for a, Nobel
by the
Peace
way,
Prize. Excuse me.
Almost 50 people,
50.
45 minutes to fill.
Yes, it's going to be the event of the season. I cannot wait.
Rapid fire
And you,
fruitcake
I
throwing.
believe, are lying. I believe you are coming in as a ringer. No, and this is honest. I'm not trying to pick a fight here. I believe she is a ringer. She'll say she's not strong or got a thing to this.
And then she talks about pulling people under the
Exactly,
table.
pulling people over the table, and then she tells, "Oh, I have abs." Oh, and all this. She always there's like a comment that follows it that denotes what she's saying, and so I think it's a bunch of garbage.
I like.
And
to
I'm just
keep
going
people
on record
their
by
toes.
saying I think there's garbage going on here. When I can smell a rat. And I'm telling you what, I smell a rat in this fruitcake toss this year. I believe you think you can throw that fruitcake. I believe you got a little, you're like a corn bushel.
She's hustling us.
Yeah, it's a hustle. This is a hustle, isn't it?
Are we gambling on the fruitcake toss?
Well, there's
there
things-
bets?
I'm just saying, I think you're underscoring yourself, and you're going to come up there and throw that fruitcake like nobody's business, and I didn't know I could throw it that far.
My philosophy is that I would rather overperform than underperform.
Yeah, but why are you lowballing us? Why are you trying to hustle us?
Because I'm
You're like one of those pool
So
sharks.
is the philosophy to undersell yourself so that way if you do good everybody's like, wow, you did better than what you thought.
So be
Yes.
honest. Do you have a little bit of power to you?
I don't know.
Because it's strength and technique. You're
No.
pulling somebody across the table.
Fruitcake tossing is just a whole other league, though. But I mean, spoon dragging over the table is one thing, but tossing the fruitcake.
How
like
big
you
was this
said,
person you dragged over the table?
They were my size. We were similar.
Okay, but you were more powerful than them. You drug them over the table. They didn't drag you over the table.
I was more strategic than them. I don't think they thought to get under the table and, make the other person go over.
God, what are these games you play?
I play to win.
Ah, see, there it is. Now, see, again, we were, oh, I don't know, and then,
We'll see
I
what
play to
happens.
win.
I
play to win.
I play to win.
See,
I'm
I'm
never
telling
fun.
you, there's a whole ringer thing going on here. I can feel it in my bones.
We'll see what happens. You got to be there on December 14th to find out.
Well, I'm telling you, she's trying to hustle us for those tickets.
She's trying to hustle it, and she wants the plaque, and she's trying to hustle the whole thing so she can have her little charcuterie board and go around to her little progressive party and drive around in circles in the neighborhood. I don't have salad or something. I don't know. Do you have to like go to somebody's house for salad and then go to the next house for the dressing and then go to the next house for the croutons? Is it a whole thing?
You gotta go.
I don't like that my progressive dinner is being made a mockery of right now. I know people out there know what a progressive dinner
No.
is. This is a thing.
Listen, I wouldn't make a mockery of such a thing as a progressive dinner. I think that's a wonderful holiday tradition.
A progressive dinner?
Yeah.
I don't think you get it.
Oh, no. I get it. I get it. You go around and you spread holiday cheer by going to other people's houses and eating.
Yes.
One course.
And they gotta cook
Yes.
the food, by the way.
Yes,
and
and
you
they
just,
cook the
you just
food.
show up, you eat, and then you're like, oh, see, I gotta go to the next house.
Nothing says holiday like that.
Yes.
My goodness gracious. But in any event, that's happy times.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Now, Matt, have you ever had a point in your life where you had a life-changing moment? Because Big Nut certainly was weight loss. His doctor came in and said, you're going to die. It's what he said. You're going to die. And he changed his life. He lost 100 pounds. Has there ever been a life-changing moment in your life?
I guess I'd say when I had the blood clot removal surgery from my leg. I mean, I weighed, I don't know, 240, something like that then. I weigh like 160 now, so I've lost 80 pounds, something of the sort. But I didn't really do anything. I just kind of, I don't drink pop anymore, really. I only drink, like, water. I have a Circle bottle now. I drink, like, I used to drink a lot of energy drinks. I don't drink energy drinks anymore. Just things like that.
Have you ever had a life-changing moment?
Mine's not probably as deep or, life-changing in that aspect, but probably whenever I moved to Florida, that was really life-changing for me. I had never lived away from home, so to have my first a place away from home be Orlando was crazy for me.
How'd it go?
It went really well, actually. My friend who came with me was much more emotional about the whole thing, so I felt like I had to be strong for both of us in this case scenario. So I think having her being panicked about everything helped me stay calm.
Are you an emotional person on the whole?
I think it depends, on what the situation is. If I think my, relationship, friendships are in jeopardy, I'll get kind of emotional, but that's really what I care about. Beyond that, no.
What do you think, Matt? Are you an emotional person?
I don't think so, not really. And I think that I think that you should never make a decision when you're emotionally charged, because it's probably or usually going to be the bad one, because it's not going to be based in logic. It'll be based in emotion.
Well, that's interesting. Now, do you always protect the person who's your friend, or do you protect the person who's right?
You see, I always go with honesty is the best policy. So if one of my friends says something and they're just wrong, I'm gonna have to let them know that they're just not right.
What if they don't like that?
Unfortunate.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, the truth. Ben Shapiro. He has one of my favorite quotes come from Ben Shapiro, and it's the facts don't care about your opinions.
Well, that's true. That's true. Now, what do you think, Kerrington? Friends over the person who's right, or defend your friends at all costs?
In most situations, I like to play devil's advocate, I would say. So I might be like, hey, maybe this is what the other person is thinking, but I typically don't take a strong side either way.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you're not an opinionated gal?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I might have my own opinion, but I guess if somebody's coming to me asking for advice or something, I really like to try to consider both sides to give as much of a neutral response as possible.
However, like what Kerrington said, if it is an opinionated thing and there is no fact or truth to the matter, I'm probably gonna not pick any side and just let them deal with it, because joining an opinionated argument just seems like a waste of my time.
Well, I think so, but if somebody asks you to join in, I think that's where you're brought in. You have to say something.
Well, see, is it okay? So are we talking more of an actual argument or a discussion?
Well, see, I think they're both the same thing, really, because a discussion can turn into an argument.
Well, no, but one's already a full-on argument, and the other one is civil discussion, talking, and also one doesn't always happen with the other, but
Let's say argument. Let's say
argument.
argument.
So okay, yeah, if it's an actual argument and two people are, like angrily arguing at each other, I don't want to be part of it. I just don't. And if it's a discussion, I'm always down to be part of discussions. I like discussions.
What do you think? Discussions versus arguments?
I would have to agree with what Matt said. If people are already arguing, I don't really want to partake in it. And I guess I've never really been asked to jump in if there's already an argument
Yeah, I don't know
going
why I
on.
want to step into an argument.
Yeah, they may, like, my friend or person that I know might come to me and, like, vent about it or talk about it, and I would, like, talk to them about it, but I'm not going to go fight their battles for them.
Yeah, but what if your friend wants you? See, that's what happens. The friend says, listen, I want you to agree with me because I feel like I'm being pelted. I feel like the roof's caving in on me.
The issue is a lot of the times in circumstances like that is I don't know the full circumstances, and I can't take the one person's word for it because obviously it's either going to be skewed in their perspective or they're just going to, like, lie to me to get me to be on their side. And So if I don't know I guess the full extent of what had happened, I don't want to take part in it because I just don't know all the details.
Are you this is an interesting thing because during the holiday time, a lot of people apologize for things that they're not really sorry for to go along to get along at the holiday time. Do you give apologies when you don't mean them? Just to go along to get along?
Not usually. I mean, if I'm at work, I do a lot of the times because it's just easy to be like, sorry, and then move on with my life. But if I'm, like, at home or something and that's actually somebody that I care about, as rough as that sounds, I will usually argue with them.
What do you think? I always tell the truth, by the way. If somebody asks my honest opinion, now I will kid around with people for a long time. But if you pull me off to the side and you say, listen, I want your honest opinion on this. Now, no, the honest opinion's coming. Now,
So-
don't
So in terms
start
of-
crying
in
then
terms
when
of-
I tell you the honest opinion.
In terms of coworkers, I would be honest with the coworkers, not the customers. I had to clarify.
Okay. Yeah, but no, I'm saying, because I've been asked to do that before. Somebody will pull me off to the side and they'll say, what do you think about this? And they say, honest, I'll say, do you want the truth? And they'll say, yes.
I mean, I'm a firm believer, and if you don't want the truth, don't. Or if you don't want my opinion, don't ask for it.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, I don't
If I
know.
think somebody's making a mistake, I wouldn't just let them make a mistake. That way at least I'll be on record. I'm not going to go back and say I told you so, but I think that you need to be there and say, well, I was the voice of reason when everybody else wasn't.
I agree. That's my go-to thing is,
Scott.
I'll give my advice or my opinion, and then I might say, but I don't know, you can do what you want, because I don't want them to make a decision based off of what I think, but I can give them my advice.
So the flip side of that, what if somebody asked you for your opinion on something, and you told them it would be a good idea, and then they did it, and they failed, and it hurt them somehow? Now, what would you do in that situation?
Well, I mean, I'm not the arbiter of their life. So just because I say do it doesn't mean do it. I mean, they ultimately have to make their own choice.
You see them, then I don't think you can come out on the other side and say, well, you see, I told you, in
People
my opinion, I thought it was a good idea, you should listen to me.
But people don't see things clearly. I mean, we've talked a lot about this when it comes to relationships, but it comes to a lot of things in life. If somebody thinks they want something, it's a rose-colored glass thing, and they really don't see it clearly, and sometimes other people do see it more clearly than them. They just have to learn to accept that. But it's very hard. I'm not saying that's easy. Because when you want to do something, it's hard. I mean, I remember when I went to school to be a teacher, I went to college for many years to be a teacher. I always said I wanted to be a teacher. And man, when I walked away from it after a few years, people were coming out of, why in the world would you go to college and spend all that time? I got that. Well, guess what? I think I ended up where I should end up. And I'm glad I did what I did. And now I'm back in teaching and I'm doing this and I've had a great, fun life, So that was my choice, but they saw it a different way. And that's how I would approach it with somebody else. I would say, listen, I don't think that's the right thing to do. You can do what you want. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm nobody's mother or father. So I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, you should always just give your opinion, and hopefully the people are able to make their own judgment based off of what you say, based off of how they feel, because at the end of the day, they have to live with the choices that they make.
Yeah, but sometimes and this is an age thing, and I know people hate to talk about age, but sometimes you've been in a car accident, so you can tell somebody else, you're going to get in a car accident if you do that. Now, they can choose to keep on driving 95 miles an hour if they want. They can drive fast all day long, but they're going to get in that car accident. But you can say, I've I've been in that car accident. Don't drive 95. You're making a mistake here. But they can still do it. I mean, you can't live anybody else's life. But, you know, you can certainly give them advice. That's where you have to value other people's opinions. You really do. If you think you are the grand... That's why I say the 3 things in life, and I've said this, I think, to both of you before. 3 things in life every morning. Believe in something higher than yourself. It doesn't have to be anything religious. Just believe in something higher than yourself. Know that everything doesn't stop and start with you.
What was the first one?
That's 1.
Oh, man, no, that was long. Never mind.
Yep, excuse me. Well, we got time. Have a purpose. That's the simple one. And love something unconditionally. Doesn't have to be a person, doesn't have to be a thing, doesn't have to be a job, just something that you know you will love if it loves you back or not. And if you can get those 3 things straight in your head every day, you're going to be fine.
Life is good. Life advice from Scott.
Well, it's true. I mean, now see, you can take that or you cannot take it. You can keep driving 95 if you want, but, you know,
Yeah.
or you can pump the brake.
That's how all advice works. I mean, you know, you give what you think, and then beyond that, the people have to make their own decisions. So.
Yeah, but don't you value some people's opinion more than others? I really do. I mean, and it's not necessarily the people I'm closest with. I think the people you're closest with sometimes give you the worst advice.
I think that if you're going to ask for somebody for their opinion, you should ask somebody who's been in that spot. Like, I don't know who said it, but somebody once had said to not ask don't ask a working man how to become rich, because if he knew, he'd probably be rich.
I don't know if that's true, though.
I don't know. If he knew how to be rich, you think he'd be working?
Yeah, but
I think he'd be working on being rich.
It depends on what you're doing, I guess. I don't think rich people could really explain to you how they became rich or everybody be rich. The kids of rich people usually are the biggest failures in the world.
Well, it's because they're not taught. They just kind of...
Well, if you could teach it, why wouldn't you?
I think you can.
Here's something quick. This is just a little.
this.
This is a little thing that happened to me recently. This is supposed to be like a little coffee conversation. Recently, I was in a room with somebody, and the person came in the room, and I was doing some other things, and I didn't realize they'd come in the room, and I think they said hello to me, but maybe they didn't.
Okay.
And I did not respond. I turned around, and there they were, and I knew they were there, and I said, "Oh," and that's all I said because I did. I said, "Oh," and then I think they got ticked because I did not say hello to them. Now, I think that's wrong. I mean, but I think they thought I was ignoring them. But I really wasn't. I just didn't hear them. I didn't hear them come in.
I mean, they could have said hello just as easily.
I think they did.
Okay.
Now that I think back to it, but I just didn't respond.
It's just a small miscommunication then. I mean...
No, they didn't take it that way.
Oh,
You saw
okay.
the sour look on their face.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, I didn't say hello.
I
God
guess
forbid.
they should have just said something, been like, why didn't you say hi to me if they were that upset about it?
I don't know. But you know what? This is a lesson. You can't be nice to everybody. Christmas in Caledonia, coming up on the 9th, 6:15 p.m. We'll be there. Don't miss that. Be there or be square. The big fruit cake toss, December the 14th, 7 p.m. That's going to be huge. Huge.
Big
with
H.
a big H.
Big H on the huge.
Big H on the huge. What'd you learn here, Matt? This has been a fun episode. We got about 90 seconds left.
Oh man, I don't know. We talked about so much today. Today I learned that. Big Nut. Today I learned that Big Nut has a scholarship foundation.
Wear your necklace straight. What do you think, Kerrington?
What did I learn today? I'm kind of with Matt here. I'm like, we talked about a lot today. I think that I learned. I don't know. Do you have anything that you learned today? I'm blanking on what I learned tonight.
Well, you got your new sweater on, though.
I know.
Your American flag crocheted
I know,
sweater.
my American flag crochet sweater.
Well, we're all excited for the big events here at the holidays, and we'll be back next week with another episode of The Exchange. For Matt Morgan and Kerrington Nelson, this is Scott Spears, heading for the dugout.